My life on the X list. Hey there, what's up, YouTube? It's me, the Diva X, and it is Monday at 12/10, 2012, and I'm just getting in on this Martin Luther King Day. P.S. It's Martin Luther King Day, so that means go out and do some shit that is in honor of Martin Luther King, as in, look at my hair. As in, go and donate your time, as in, go and have a dream, as in, go and do something that will uplift the human race, really. I mean, think outside of yourself and really just try to do something that is beneficial to other people and be a little less selfish. I think it's very important. So, as you can tell, she might be a little intoxicated, but that's okay. But I really wanted so we're like really on a roll now with these videos, and I feel like when I had something to say, I needed to say it. And tonight was an interesting night. I went to enjoy the Dollhouse show at Club Legends tonight, our new home for the Exotica show every Thursday at midnight. Hey, and I had run into a lot of people there, whom I've known for some time, and I've built friendships with, yeah, we'll leave it at friendships with. Um, and I feel like it's important to say that as far as my interactions with people and how I relate to people and how my role as the Diva X and my I'm tilting the camera because I feel like if there's more than like an inch of like what I see here gap on my above my head, there's just too much space, so I need to make adjustments. So excuse me for that. So sorry for the camera shift. However, back to what I was saying. I feel like I need to say that when it comes to friendships slash relationships slash interactions with people whom I've known or I've met prior to getting into relationships, I still try to treat those people, those persons, in the same regards that I've treated them before. And I feel like in some cases there's a little bit more like cheeky friendship with some of these people, and then they get into relationships and like their boyfriend or their partner isn't one to have that. And I'm not, and ultimately what it comes down to is my goal is to never disrespect anyone's relationship or friendship or whatever it is going on between this person and their whoever they're seeing. My situation is I've built I don't keep track of people's relationships. Let's be clear on that. There's only very few people that I'll keep track of people's relationships, and those are people that are like close to me and people that I have interest in as far as needing to know. Whereas if you're someone who I've met and you're, I don't know you that well, and maybe we don't spend time outside of the club scene or interact outside of the Thursday, Friday, Saturday social hour, I don't really pay attention. And it's no offense to you. It's just, if I had to keep track of everybody's relationships, then this bitch would be insane, more so than she already is. So in keeping in line with people's relationships and being respectful of those relationships, I try not to cross those boundaries as far as relationships go. That's never my intention. My intention is never to break anyone up or to have a situation as far as being rude or really being disrespectful to the relationship. That's never really my intent. That's never been my intention. I won't. That's never. I never go into situations as the intention. I mean, now well, I guess that might be a false statement because there are some people that I do monitor. And I will openly say, like, really, bitch, get your life. You don't need to be with that person. And then those are, it's a handful of people that fall into that category. But the general people that, I converse with or interact with on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday schedule, those people I can't keep track. But ultimately what it comes down to is whatever we've built as interactions, as whatever we've built as situations that our friendship exists on, I will keep that alive. I feel like if I rest on my shoulder on your rest my head on your shoulder today, just because you have a boyfriend next week doesn't mean that that's not something I'll still do. And that's not as in no disrespect to the person. It's just that's what me and you are used to. And I feel like sometimes like that gets misconstrued as in I'm trying to like come up on somebody's situation. My heart rests where it does, and I don't feel like I'm in dire need to try to come up on anybody's man or disrespect anyone's relationship. Or I'm very comfortable with where I am in my life, and I'm very comfortable with what I have going on in my life. Although it might not be where it needs to be, but I am very comfortable with that, and I'm comfortable in saying that. And so coming up on or the perception of coming up on or disrespecting or trying to make interject myself upon other people or people's relationships is never my intention. My intention is to keep it cool from what we've built as far as friends. And granted, there's different situations and different times call for different interactions. And I feel like sometimes when you get, I'm not saying you as in you as in who's watching, but people get into relationships and they don't really like prepare their significant other or their new whomever for those situations. Whereas if I normally run up to you and give you a hug, or I don't actually run, so let's call that a lie. If I go up to you and give you a hug normally, then I'm going to continue to do that, regardless of who you're with or who you're dating. And again, it's not as a sign of disrespect to the person. It's just more so a sign of respect to the friendship that we've built. And so, and ultimately my first-hand relationships slash friendships slash whatever you want to call them are more important to me than yours and that person's relationship, especially if it's new. And again, no offense to the relationship, it's just I would rather keep what we have going, even if it is just, a hug and a kiss when we see each other, or a hug and a squeeze, or whatever the case may be. I rather keep that going because at least I feel that in some cases friendships are more long-term than some relationships, and that's really the harsh reality of it. And if it became an ongoing situation or a long-term relationship where that was a problem, I'm willing to back the fuck up because again, my role is never to cause disrespect to your relationship slash friendship or whatever the case may be. And I've kind of experienced that today, and I felt like I needed to apologize for, feeling a certain way, because I felt that I was maybe drawing some, tension or some confusion as to why I'm sitting here talking to someone in a close proximity and resting my head on their shoulder, and then the boyfriend walks by, and it's not even acknowledged. It's just kind of like, oh. And but really, honestly, my intentions is never, I'm not trying to come up, I'm not trying to disrespect, I'm not trying to interject, I just doing what I do and keeping it normal. And so that's not really my situation to have to deal with, which I feel like sometimes I guess I could be at fault, but I don't know, because ultimately what it comes down to, my friendships are my friendships, and that's really what I can be concerned about. Your relationships or friendships outside of that is really your situation, and if you feel like that is not appropriate, then you need to address that with me, and if he feels that's not appropriate, then he needs to address that with you, then you address that with me, but I don't take well to people who don't know me addressing me in a certain way, because I'm not. My thing is, I don't mean no harm. I really have never. I feel like I keep things as neutral and as 100 as I can. And when it comes down to it, your other people that you meet, as far as you being my friends or you being my whomever, my interaction at this point in time, that's your business, and that's something you need to take care of. So you either need to prep them for what's going to happen, or you either need to let me know that that's not an okay situation, and I will gladly stop. It's just until I know otherwise, I continue on the same path that I've been on. So I felt that today, and I felt like I needed to apologize, and that person told me, you don't have to worry about it, it's not that big of a deal, blah 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 blah. But I felt there was something there. And so I thought I'd make a video on it, because, that's what she does. She talks a bunch of shit on these videos, and she really just kind of expresses herself the way she feels like she wants to. Here I am talking in third person again, but in relation to what you guys are hearing, I'm talking about me. If you didn't catch that part. But I know, ultimately, again, what it comes down to is, I don't mean no harm. I don't mean any disrespect. I'm this character person that you guys, that people come to know in the scene, and I will continue to be that as long as you'll have me, and no disrespect, no harm. I've never, that's never been my intent, and so I felt like I needed to make a video on it, and here I am. It's 12:21 now. I think I've left all that I needed to say. I'm not that person. I'm not that person. I'm not trying to break anybody up. I'm not trying to like shut anyone down. I'm not trying to. I mean, and granted, if I'm trying to get rid of somebody, you'll know it. I'll make sure that that person, and really honestly, I don't even concern myself that often with those type of situations, but except for a very limited handful of people. And if I don't like someone, you're going to know it. And outside of that, I mean, if you enjoy someone, if you like it, I love it. That's what it comes down to. And so, but there's certain people that I will definitely let know that this is not going to work out. And that's, again, very few and far in between. So, but those people know who they are too, and I'm sure they've heard a handful of my bullshit about their relationships, or friendships, or companionships. But again, I really, really try not to interject myself as far as the general public goes. So yeah, I had that on my heart on my way home, and so I felt like I needed to drop it off right here with you guys on YouTube. So yes, have a wonderful day off for those of you who have the day off. Have a wonderful day at work for those of you who don't. And it's Martin Luther King Day, so again, hopefully you have something going on, and either way, dare to dream, ultimately what it comes down to. And there was a quote that I've read once upon a time that says, if your dreams don't scare you, they aren't big enough. And so dream bigger. And yeah, that's my heart-to-heart moment, and that's my the more you know. There should be a rainbow now going across the screen. But ultimately, that's I felt like everything I just said is what I needed to drop off, because it was right here, right on this heart, or on this chesticle. The chesticle. Your man boobs are gonna concave. For those of you who watch Pitch Perfect, you guys know what that's from. But yes, 13 minutes and 40 seconds later, here I am, ladies and gentlemen, wrapping up this video. Thank you guys, and I'm watching the time. And good night.